Hello and welcome to the Inbetween podcast. I'm usually host Joe Scott. I'm joined by Tony Tones at RT. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Okay, we seem to be good now. I went live for like five 5 minutes before this, and I dropped half my frames, and I was like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck is happening?" And I just randomly went live again, and I have zero drop frames. I have no idea what that was, but if you're watching the VOD, welcome. Um, thank you, Michael in the chat saying I look silky. Scone retorts, everyone's
Looking
favorite.
so cute.
Looking so,
Okay.
I think that's a compliment. I haven't heard that one before, but thank you. Tony,
Silky smooth, I assume?
anything you've been up to this week you want to talk about before we dive into trailers?
No, I think I'm good to just go right
I,
into the trailers.
apart from stuff I should say for Tangerine, I don't think there's anything in particular um
Okay.
I should talk about really. I do. We got our next fest videos out, so
Yeah,
I
we're done.
believe the last one's coming on Wednesday next week, and that will be the finale. And I believe we just got out. I think it was movement games and FPS games we just did. So
Yeah.
if you're interested in the one that comes out on Wednesday, if you're just like, oh, there was so many Steam demos, I'm not sure which ones to check out. If you wait for the video on Wednesday, it'll come out about midday UK time. There will be a timestamp at the end where I'll just list off my favorite demos. And if you're just like, well, I don't want to go through 30 demos on Steam, just check out my favorite demos from the Steam Demo Festival because there's some really, really good ones in there, and definitely some stuff to look at. But apart from that,
Yeah, yes.
I think we're good. So we go on with the
Yeah, yeah.
trailers.
Yes, let's do it.
First up, we have Portal 2 Desolation. We talked about this before, actually. It's an upcoming Portal 2 mod, and it had this really, really nice looking Portal 2, and they've actually gone more in depth into how they're doing the graphics overhaul. So this is literally just a graphics overhaul showcase um, for the Portal 2 mod, and it looks really cool. Like they've got real time lighting working in Hammer, which is like insane if you understand like how old the Hammer tool is, like from Valve. Because you used to have to like, I believe you had to bake in lighting, but now you're able to like move light sources around in Hammer in real time, which means you don't have to recompile them.
That's
Um,
insane, yeah.
so it looks really good. And one of the things they were saying in the video was it meant that artists could work on the lighting without getting in the way of the level designers who would only focus on designing the levels, which I think was really
Yeah,
cool.
because like it's like a big bonnet, but right at the end we're like, oh, we have to like make sure the lighting's good, then bake it in. Like, oh no, that's a problem. So it
Um,
should be a lot more. Yeah, that's really good.
but yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is if what sort of
Other
performance overhead
perf-
this will have,
Yeah, yeah,
because real time lighting can be quite expensive, especially if the engine's not designed for it. But they said they had to
yeah.
go back and like add different roughnesses to materials to get different lights to bounce off them in different ways. It's actually quite an interesting video if you're interested in video game development or Portal 2. But my big question would be if this thing comes out and runs really well, I'd really love them to see them like not necessarily have to open source it, but just go, hey, here's some tools that other Portal 2 modders can use. Here's a new
Yeah,
base for
yeah.
people to work on because God
That'd be
knows
really
there's not
cool.
going to be a Portal 3 anytime soon. I
No.
mean, we had Desk Job, which I played and was really fun. We've yet to talk about it yet because we've still been catching up on Tangerines.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
but I do want to talk about that. Was pretty fun. Apparently non-canon as well. Um,
Okay, okay. Well,
yeah,
it's canon to me. It's in my head canon.
yeah. Hello, Sugar Pop. Oh, hello. Um, but yeah, this mod looks really cool, and they go off and if you want to watch the whole thing, it's pretty interesting. Check that out. Next up we have Downfall of Slay the Spire fan expansion. This is really interesting. I think I talked about this in a previous
Yeah.
podcast. I've actually been playing it briefly. I think I played about um, 40 minutes, so not even that's like a quarter of a Slay the Spire run. Um,
Right, okay.
but the interesting thing is Slay the Spire has workshop support, so you can just go and you can load up mods. It's called like Mod the Spire. You download from the workshop, and then you can launch that, and then you load up different mods. But one thing that's gone on with this one is this mod is so well made and polished that they've worked with the um, Slay the Spire team to release it on its own separate download as its own like modded expansion. So it's like an official modded page. I don't know if you've seen one of these before, but I've seen quite a few. Like there's the
Yeah,
year
I've seen quite a few of
the
these.
year long alarm that was like a Half-Life 2 one that had its own page. I think
Right.
Synergy has its own Steam page. It's also just a Half-Life 2 mod. But I do find this stuff is good. One for visibility, and then two for ease of
Yeah.
use.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
it's so easy to.
I
Yeah.
downloaded like a bunch of Slay the Spire mods in I think it was 2021, and I was meaning to play them, and Downfall was on the list. So I kept downloading updates for it, and I didn't play it. But now I've actually got around to playing it, and it's really, really cool. So some of the big things about Downfall are so there's a brand new class called the Hermit, which I've just been playing as, and it's basically like a cowboy, and it has this like cool mechanic called Dead On. So when cards are like when cards are in right in the center of your hand, then they have an extra effect. And he's got this really. The thing I love is the attention to detail to animations and sounds. Where if you like shoot a gun, like because your character shoots a gun, the hermit,
Yeah.
and you shoot this gun, it's like pew! It's like this like satisfying gun sound every
Oh,
time you
it's
use a strike and stuff like that.
like
Like
a really good
they've actually put
sound.
like good polish into the mod, which is really really
That's
cool
really
to
cool.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other really interesting thing about this game mode is, apart from the brand new class, is there's also a mode where you can play as the Spire itself, called Down. I believe it's just called Downfall. So you defend the heart from attacking intruders. So you play
Right.
as the bosses, and you defend the heart from like the normal classes, the Ironclad and the Silent and the Watcher and the Defect. Yeah, it's really cool just to like as you can like play as the slime and you fight the trader and slay the spire. I thought that was really really
Oh,
cool.
right.
So really
Interesting.
really interested to play more of this. But yeah, it seems to be very well reviewed on Steam as well. It seems like other people are enjoying it as well. I was interested to play more of
Yeah.
this.
It looks very
It's one of
interesting.
those time sink games. But
Yeah.
because one of my friends recently, Jesse, he just started playing Slay the Spire because it was in the Ukraine bundle that I got, which is a really cool thing because you got to like get a bunch of games that I wanted to play, and then all the bonus ones I just gifted to friends, all while
Yeah,
supporting a
it's
good
cool to
charity.
see
So
it's cool to see the support as well.
yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm still on my year of humble bundle choice. I'm still trying not to buy any games, but it was a bundle
Right.
too good to pass up. So
It was a very good bundle.
yeah. Next up we have Rift Tracks the game. So this is coming to Steam, PS, Xbox, and Switch. They've teamed up with What the Dub. So What the Dub is a game I've played where basically the idea is, um, you'll show like a movie screen, and then you'll take turns like Jackbox style, adding your own like custom dubs to it, and then people vote on which one they think's the funniest.
Right.
But they've teamed up with Rift Track, so I believe are like don't know if it's a TV series or a YouTube channel. But basically, they watch like old movies and they add their own commentary to them and make it funny, sort of thing. Like movies and stuff that have gone outside of the public domain and stuff like that. But they're bringing like this huge library of like classic B movie films, and then they're also adding a way for you to add your own funny stuff on top of it. So there's two ways to play. There's Writer Rift, so it uses text to speech to put your dub over the movie, and you can pick a rift where you choose from prompts that they've pre-voiced it out. So there's two different ways to play it, and it seems like really cool because as someone who's me and my group of friends are big fans of stuff like Jackbox and What the Dub, especially we play a lot of What the Dub. This game seems really cool, so this is something I've got my eye on.
Yeah. It's very, very interesting. Okay.
Yeah, cool to
That's
see.
a lot of fun.
That's coming May 5th. They're not that far
Not
away, even
no, it's not that far.
a month or so. So yeah. The Quarry got a official reveal game. Tony, Supermassive Games, the people behind Until Dawn and Man of
Yep.
Medan, they've got their brand new game. I can't wait to download over 100
I did.
gigabytes to play this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. I did. Yeah, I did actually see this trailer before. I can't
Mm,
remember where. I don't know. I'm not sure. I
mm.
mean,
Well,
I don't know.
I
Maybe
know.
it's not just not for me, but
So I never played Until Dawn because I don't have a PS4.
Mm.
and I played Man of Medan for the first time this Halloween and tested out, and I really enjoyed it. I know some
Yeah,
people
yeah,
weren't personally a fan of Man of Medan, especially compared to Until Dawn, because people considered Until Dawn to be so good. But for someone who'd never played Until Dawn and just literally playing Man of Medan, I thought it was a really cool experience, and I'm excited
yeah,
to
yeah.
play the other games. I think I have Little Hope, I have, and I'm going to play it this Halloween probably. And then there was also Little Ashes, the something the new one they came out with as well. So
Yeah,
interested to
I
play.
don't remember.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I like these weird like B movie horror game plots where you get to control the actions of the character, and then I get to kill all the characters accidentally because I make terrible
Yeah.
decisions. I like this
There,
sort of stuff.
I will say, like, as much as I don't think it's for me, like, I do respect, like, the choices. Like, you have fun with the choices.
I
I'll
love
say
how
that.
like
Like, you can,
interactive this stuff is, where like
yeah,
because again with the previous one, you can stream it on Twitch or you can even like just stream it on Discord to a couple of friends, sort of thing. So that would be pretty cool to see. And then we have Joe's weird VR game of the week.
oh, here
I
we
think
go.
you've seen this video before. We've talked about this YouTube video before, but there was a guy who was developing a non-Euclidean
Yeah,
um, game engine, and he's actually just come out with the game now. It's called
that's cool.
Hyperbolica. So the entire game is set in this non-Euclidean adventure, and Tony, it has a VR mode.
Okay, that's insane.
Yeah. So it's gonna really break your brain playing this in
Oh
VR
yeah,
because
100%.
man, non-Euclidean universes are fucking confusing. I gotta
Well, it would be.
say,
You live in a Euclidean universe.
yeah, yeah,
Well, okay, that's not entirely true. I guess you live on a. It's like you don't live in a hyperbolic universe. I'll say that.
yeah. So if you don't understand, like the basic idea is that you could have like multiple
Oh
rooms
god.
inside a space that you would consider to only be like four
Yeah,
rooms, or
there's a way because of like yeah because it's not
because
like the normal space you expect.
because parallel lines don't exist, I believe is the
Yes,
basic concept.
you can squeeze in things that you do not expect to be able to squeeze into.
And like you could have a ramp that you go up, but you come out downhill. So, for
Yeah,
example, in that universe, it's very confusing unless you
you can
are.
like see. I hear. I guess you can like yeah like this barn that you can see like
I'd
the top of
recommend
that.
watching his other video, Non-Euclidean Worlds Engine, if you want to learn more about this sort of stuff. But yeah, it's really interesting and it's going to be trippy as hell. So yeah, we'll move on to quick news, Tony. Epic Games bought
Quickness.
Bandcamp. I don't think I talked about this at all. I was like, I completely forgot about it last week, so I was like, I'll put it on here.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's strange given how Bandcamp's like it's known as the indie self-dependent like music streaming service where or music streaming slash store where you can spend money to support artists. It's basically like it's the itch.io of music is how I see Bandcamp.
Mm,
What itch.io
that
is to
makes sense.
games.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
like, wouldn't it be really strange if like a company like itch.io was just randomly on a storefront on the Epic Games launcher? That would be really
Yeah,
strange.
that'd be really weird.
Imagine if Bandcamp was just randomly acquired by Epic Games.
Yeah,
So
I don't
Epic
understand.
said that they will be hands off. Um, but whether they
So, what do you
will,
if that's the case? What do you think the reason behind this is? Then, like, what are they
Epic.
gaining from
So
this?
Epic are like ramping up their media side really hard. Like they're doing stuff in Unreal Engine when it comes to movies and stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
I would assume they just want to get their hands on some sort of like maybe they just literally just bought them so they could be like, hey, you have a really good storefront for music, or you understand how to do music really well.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
bring some of those people onto Epic to help us because they seem to just want to be this multimedia tech giant where they want to go,
Yeah.
hey, we make Fortnite, but we also make musical experiences like virtual concerts. We do like we make
It's
movies like The
yeah.
Mandalorian backdrop and stuff like that.
I was say aggressive diversification.
Yeah, and they have like what is it called, the MetaHuman project or something like that, where they have like these super
Yeah.
realistic humans. Thanos glove, the Infinity Stones are all coming together to Epic to take over.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All
Okay.
right. Interesting.
Tony, I think I showed this to you. What do you think of the new Sonic the Hedgehog Xbox controllers that have
Um.
fur?
No.
I think these are awesome.
I think they're shit.
They look like they're terrible to use in a way that these will be incredibly collectible, I feel like, in years
I
to come.
guess. Isn't there only isn't like this? Can't you? You can't like buy this, right? Like, is it a part of a something else that you can that
It's
comes
a
with something else?
it's a limited run is and it's part of a Sonic themed sweepstake. So I
Right.
don't
Yeah.
know. So let's have a look. So I gotta be honest with you, I didn't look too deeply into how you acquire the Knuckles and Sonic
So
Xbox
I
furry Xbox controllers.
no, just like as you said, collectibles. Like, I'm pretty sure like this is going to be like super collectible, considering like how you
So
get it.
I
And
knew
I'm just
I knew it was all to advertise like the Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which I still can't believe Idris Elba is playing Knuckles. It's like if Jean Luc Picard's actor Patrick Stewart was playing the poop emoji in the Emoji Movie. You
it's
just
just that
you
good.
just wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Um, so they're not going to be generally available to the public. They were given away as part of an Enter to Win sweepstake. Damn.
It's weird, isn't it?
Right.
What do you think of the actual Xbox itself? That looks weird as well.
Yeah, it's got
You
like
get
the
that?
giant golden ring as well.
Yeah. Okay, I'll say I like the golden ring. I'm not sure about the rest of it though.
I'm just super curious what it would be like to hold a furry controller. You
I think
know,
it's exactly what you think it's gonna be like. Shit.
it's gonna be like super sweaty, and
Yeah.
like because they literally
I
like on the Elite 2 controller, you have like this textured material on it, so it helps you grip better for when you like
yeah.
sweat and stuff like that. But I feel like when you've got like your hands just like fur all over them, that's gonna
Oh
be
god.
awful.
Yeah. It's a no from me.
Is it
No.
is this the ultimate controller for furries? Yes or no?
Yes.
There it is. You've heard it here first, confirmed.
100%.
Right, next up. Oh, Tony, the next thing that Doom runs on. You can now
Oh,
play
here we
multiplayer
go.
Doom on a Raspberry Pi Pico,
Oh my
a
god.
$4
What?
computer. So it's not just a
What?
computer, it's a microcontroller.
Yeah, yeah. It's something you put into a computer to make it like
hmm
what? What?
So it's even more. So
Okay.
it's not just like a Raspberry Pi, which is impressive in itself, but
Yeah.
it's a
That's an old
microcontroller
system though.
that can run Doom on it, which I just think is
Okay.
insane.
What the hell?
It's based on
Okay.
Chocolate
Right.
Doom base. That's the best version. Source port, and it uses all of the original Doom 6 PC WAD files, plus the original music and
Right.
audio.
Okay. No, that is impressive though. Is this just a thing like to show off like how good of like a programmer you are at this point? Like I feel like we know
Computer,
Doom can run
computer,
everything.
computer exists. Can I run
Yeah.
Doom on it?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're filling all this stuff on the Pi Pico's 2 megabytes of flash memory. It required a bit of compression, but the game still runs at 300 times 200 resolution.
Okay.
But outputs at 1280 times 1024 video without a hitch. Sanderson notes that microcomputers with the Pi's Pico RP2040 chip should be able to run Ultimate Doom and Doom 2. There's more to look forward to. There it is.
There's more to come. More Doom.
I guess Doom on a
But
rat wasn't far enough.
no, there's always more Doom. I can't wait.
I don't know if you saw this, Tony, but I was briefly looking at it. There was a modder who demade Bloodborne in a PS1 style and released it as a fan mod. I think it was like calling himself Fan Software, like From Software.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. But apparently that came out and apparently it's quite good. And one of the memes where people were like, "You need to make Bloodborne cart." That was like a big meme. Was like Bloodborne cart, and apparently he's now actually working on a Bloodborne cart.
I
And
can't
as
wait.
someone who's a huge kart racing fan, can I say this is fantastic news that we are getting Bloodborne kart.
I find D-Make so interesting though.
Well, I know you're not a big fan of like the PS1 style, but I think it's
No,
great.
but no, but the D-Necks I think do like look great though. Like
Right.
I don't like the PS1 graphics, but like I find that the D-Necks much better, like they're built from the ground up. PS1 graphics.
This is a kind of a head scratcher, interesting one. OBS Studio has been released on Steam.
What? Okay.
Yeah, so it's the exact same build as you
It's
download
still
from the
free.
website. It's still free. So you can just run the exe directly. You don't need Steam to run
Well,
this.
I guess it'll get updated easier.
But OBS just updates when I open it. I guess
True.
I guess if you don't
Well,
open OBS all the time.
yeah, no, I was saying like I've got there's a drawing software that's like you can either download it as like a DRM-free or a Steam version. Like maybe it's a similar idea to that.
I think OBS is working on at the moment their Linux version is awful. Um,
Right.
or doesn't exist. I know Linus was having trouble getting OBS to work. But right now they're making a big push to get the Linux working on
That's
the OBS Studio. So
yeah.
maybe this is a Steam Deck thing. Who knows?
Oh, just make it easier to like find it on the. Yeah, maybe.
But
Yeah, yeah,
at the very least, this improves visibility of OBS, and it's going to make it a lot easier for people to download it. I guess that's the idea of having like OBS on Steam in the same way
yeah,
that it
yeah,
might make it easier for people to discover itch.io through the Epic Games launcher, I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just like being in more places. It's good.
Average OBS user, and they've just got the Giga Chat at ASCII. You love to see it.
That's great.
I think OBS is it's just one of the best free pieces of software in the world. It's insane.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like at
It's
that
very good.
tier where it's just they could have shot so much money for
Like
this. I've
it,
used
it
it so
has
much.
it has the integration that I don't
I'm
expect from
using it
like free
right
software as
now.
well. Yeah, yeah.
Not on Steam. Um yeah, I was just thinking, would there be any reason to switch for me? I don't think so.
No, yeah, I don't know. Unless you just like to launch it from
The one
Steam, I
thing was the
suppose. But
download thing that you mentioned. That could be interesting. Just because
yeah,
sometimes I launch it and I want to go live, but it say, "Oh, you've got updates." So
basically, updated in the background, it would keep it managed for
yeah,
you.
yeah, okay,
Yeah, I mean like I've done that before with a piece of software. It's like I had the DRM free version. I use the Steam version now for that reason. So.
okay. So let's move on to Steam news. Steam on Chrome OS Alpha. You can finally play a really janky alpha of Steam on Chrome OS for the people out there with Chromebooks who want to play Steam for some reason. Okay.
Well, yeah, but they can't. They couldn't game at all, and now they can at least game a little bit. That makes a little bit of sense.
Hmm. Next up, we have some Steam Deck verified games aren't working well. Players have said.
Yeah,
Apparently, I don't know if you've seen this, but a lot of the verified titles on the Steam Deck, people have found that they're having real issue
yeah.
playing them.
I've
Um,
yeah. I think it was like lines that said like the quote is like they've got like a rubber stamp system going on because like some of them are just not
well, they're
the
putting
verified stuff is not verified or shouldn't be
they're
verified.
putting their stamp of approval on it, and then it looks bad for Valve when they put their stamp of approval on something,
Yeah,
and then you play it and it's not a great experience.
yeah,
I was listening to the WAN show, and Linus said he's been playing through Horizon Zero Dawn on his Steam Deck. He's only been using a Steam Deck for a month as a challenge to see if it's
yeah.
viable. And he said he was having some trouble with Horizon Zero Dawn.
Like
Even
after
though,
5 hours.
and he was saying hey, if if this title was not working and it was unverified, okay, I get it. But it's literally Steam has verified and said this will run on the Steam
Yeah,
Deck, and that's why he was upset.
I think they should have gone with they should have had like two stamps in a way. Like oh we've loaded this, we know it runs, and then like we haven't had like long term tests. Like maybe like
Hmm.
slowly roll out the gold, like the definitely 100%
So
verified stamp.
let's read some of these. A way out playable, but resolution is cropped to the middle of the screen. Borderlands the pre-sequel playable, but gamepad inputs aren't working correctly. Call of Juarez Gunslinger verified, but videos don't play. Deathloop is verified, but multiple complaints of poor performance. Reportedly, some users say suspend makes it crash. Doom
Oh god.
2016 verified, and yet there's reports of it repeatedly crashing throughout the game. Um, any interesting ones? Shenzhen IO verified, but doesn't work. It currently set to use Proton, but the native Linux version works. This one is due for a retest as part of their original problem. So they're trying to use Proton on a game with a native Linux port.
Okay, interesting.
Sonic Generations verified but has poor performance. Some parts drip to single-digit FPS. I've heard Sonic Generations is unplayable without modding, like
Right.
on Steam right now.
Really? Okay.
I was planning on
It
playing.
used to work.
I was planning on playing Sonic Generation. Depends what you're playing. Like I think the 3D sections
Okay.
are a lot more broken than the 2D sections of
Right.
Generations. But
Okay.
I was watching a video recently. I think it was a video from ages ago. It was John Linneman from Digital Foundry. It was like the 4K on a budget series they used to do with like a 970, or where back when you could do 4K on a budget, you could just load up a really old game but have like a medium tier slash low tier GPU and then just
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
4K to run on an old system. But he was saying like to get a lot of stuff to run, you do need to mod it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna play Sonic Generations. I might need to go back and mod it before I can actually play it. But yeah, I'm going off topic right now. I'm talking about Sonic. What the fuck is a Sonic? But yeah, a bunch of games said they were verified. They're no longer verified. Also, let's go back on the topic of Sonic. I always find it really funny that the NVIDIA patch notes, every time I read the driver patch notes for NVIDIA drivers, there's a bug that says Sonic All-Star Racing sometimes causes people's game to crash when you go through water. And it's been on the ongoing issues for NVIDIA drivers for so long that I find it hilarious that either NVIDIA can't be bothered to try and fix it, or it's like they can't figure out how to fix it, sort of thing. That I just find really,
Yeah.
really funny. Um, but yeah, anyway. So in response to this, Valve's actually put out a brand new feature called Steam Deck opt-in feedback, and what this will do is you can opt in to say whether the game that you just played is actually verified or not. So
Okay.
the example they show here is Portal 2 is verified on the Steam Deck, and it will ask you, does this match your experience playing the game? So you can say, yes, I think this game should be verified. No, this game shouldn't be verified, or you can ignore it and just move on. But that's going to be interesting because,
Well,
I mean,
ideally they shouldn't even be stamping it unless they've like fully tested it, really. But okay, this is better than nothing.
yeah, it's going to let them do a second pass on all the verified titles.
Yeah, which you're always going to need to check. Like, fair enough. But like, again, I just think they shouldn't be so rubber stampy with the stamp
I mean, the
itself or
Steam
the
Deck is
verification.
definitely like a first product, like early
Yes,
adopter sort of thing, where
especially
we're
the software. Yeah.
we're gonna look back on the first iteration of the Steam Deck maybe and go, oh, that was like a crazy, early piece of
Yeah.
technology, but now we've come
Yeah.
so far ahead in
But
terms
I
of
think we're gonna get
mobile
that slowly,
gaming.
like as the soft. I think a lot of this is like software problems more than like anything else. So I feel like it's gonna be like a slow improvement over the
Mm,
next year.
yeah, but it's interesting that they're very quickly responding to this criticism and adding ways to like address it, which I think is
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So we'll have to see how this turns out. Oh,
But they still
blunders!
make
Should we,
blunders.
you want to go? We got one blunder this week.
Okay,
Introducing
okay.
GTA Plus for GTA Online, a new membership program exclusively for the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S versions
I
of GTA
like you
5.
just put this straight into the blunders section.
So what you're getting is you're paying like $6 a month for like a car every month and like $500,000, 500,000 cash. And if you don't understand the economy of GTA Online like I do, that is nothing. That is literally like no money
Oh
at all.
really? Oh
Yes.
right.
You can make like
Okay.
$2 million in like an hour doing a KO Perico heist.
Oh really? Oh god.
This
This is
is
shit.
this is terrible, terrible money.
Oh my
Um,
god.
so it just seems insane that they would like give
Is the
this.
car more worth it then?
I don't know. You get like an auto shop, which is sort of valuable. It's not too expensive. You waive LS car meet membership fees, which I think is like nothing anyway. If you already own a yacht, you get an upgrade to your yacht, and the yachts cost like 20 million anyway. So if you're someone who's getting this, you probably don't own a yacht.
Dear. Well, if you're a whale, you probably do.
You get GTA and RP bonuses on the races. which nobody plays. So yeah, not a, it's sort of a what's the opposite of a good deal? A terrible deal. Um,
Yeah, worst deal.
I mean, like with the Twitch Prime like sign in, or like when you did the Daily Quest sign in thing, you could eventually
Yeah.
get it so every time you would sign in, you would get like 500,000 a month or something, and they just kept lowering it. I think like
Right.
Twitch Prime for logging in is like 100K now. Um,
And
but
this is the
man,
reason.
we're not getting GTA 6 anytime soon, are we?
No. Jesus
We're really
Christ.
milking those GTA Plus memberships and shark cards out of all of the GTA 5 fans. To be fair, the GTA 5 next gen version does look good with ray tracing. From the Digital Foundry coverage I watched of the next gen versions, it does
Yeah.
look like the best looking version of GTA 5 you can get. It's
But
just a
not even expect though.
it's just a shame that they haven't put it on PC.
Yeah.
Because I think people would might be willing to pay for an upgrade, but I don't know. Fucking Rockstar, man. I don't know.
They've
They're
kind of
always up to
I
some
think
shady shit.
yeah, they've been falling off quite hard recently.
I mean, they used to be like GTA used to be the game monkey, the game that made fun of greedy capitalists, but it's the game
Yes.
for greedy capitalists now.
Yeah. You become the bad
Right,
guy.
that was the blunder. Shall we move on to tech news? Because this is really interesting, and I don't want to look
Yeah,
at
let's
this
do
anymore. AMD's new Ryzen 7 5800X 3D processor will be available on April 20th for
Yeah.
$449. So we talked
I'm
about this on
really
the
curious about
past.
this. Yeah.
They were teasing the brand new AMD's 3D stacking Vcache technology, which allowed AMD to up the L3 cache from 32 megabyte to 96 megabyte.
Which is an insane increase.
Yeah, so the company says that additional cache should translate to a 15% boost in overall performance compared to the Ryzen 5900X. Like it's a 5800 with this cache on top of it, and it's like a stopgap sort of thing between the
Yeah.
5000 series and then the Ryzen
It's gonna be
Zen 4 series?
7,000, I believe.
7000 it should be. So
I
the
believe I
Zen,
could be mistaken, but I think they are doing the whole odd number is like the desktop variant.
but they showed off this like because it's really interesting because Apple and Intel are going performance efficiency cores,
Yeah.
and then it seems like Ryzen's going forward ahead with this like 3D chip stacking technology, which is
Yeah.
really
More
interesting.
chips. I'm really curious to know whether like the 7,000 series will have like a lower clock to like try and match the like the performance per watt, because that
Well,
was originally something that AMD was like really pushing for with Ryzen.
one
It's like,
really
oh, look how
interesting thing
much
about
watts
this,
we could do.
Tony, is AMD is actually asking motherboard partners to disable Ryzen 7 5800X 3D overclocking. So on this
Hmm.
3D chip, you cannot overclock it at all.
I want.
It's been
Do you think
confirmed that
that's a Yeah? Do you think that's gonna be a permanent thing, or is that like a temporary thing as they're trying to like
that I
dial it
think
in?
that's a temporary thing for this
Yeah,
CPU because I
yeah, that's what I
think
was thinking.
there's an issue.
Because like first technology with this, right?
Yeah. So I think Luke was saying on the one show, he was saying like it'd be really funny to see like you need to find like a motherboard that doesn't have this thing that stops you from overclock because you can't change the voltage either apparently. So you
Yeah, I'm
can't
wondering if it's super
you
dependent on
can't
that,
choose
maybe.
you can't change clock speed, you can't change voltage.
Yeah,
Um,
interesting.
but it'd be really interesting to find a
See what happens
motherboard.
if you do.
Yeah, like will this just overheat to crap? Like
Yeah, will it kill it? Will it? Yeah,
they were saying
I'm
that it'd be funny to do a
curious.
live stream where you overclock it on the live stream and you see how long the live stream lasts for. Because when the live stream ends, you'll
Yeah,
know that it's finished.
yeah.
Um, but the interesting
That'd be
thing is,
yeah,
so this is the stopgap between Zen 4, but on the other end, because they were right that when they came up with the 5000 series, AMD was on top.
yeah,
Intel comes out with like 11th, 12th gen, puts the fire under their ass. Intel becomes the best budget CPU maker.
yeah.
Um,
That's true.
Now, AMD's actually bringing out some low mid-range CPUs. So there's going to be six new low CPUs. Where are they? Let's have a look. the Ryzen 5 5600, um, 5500, 4600G, 4500, and the Ryzen 3 4100. So we're actually
Yeah, because
getting. Sorry, go on.
no, I was thinking, was that okay? Right. I was gonna say though, because before like last year, they're really slow to like release like the lower end like CPUs. It's like yeah, they're just trying to like maximize the money. This is why you need competition though.
Yeah,
Like it just
but
like
like,
because like as good as AMD has been for us, like it's only because they were the underdog. And like as soon as like you're not the underdog anymore, like, you start not doing the best decisions for your customers.
budget CPUs like the 4100, 4500, like 4 core 8 threads Zen 2
Mm.
or 6 core 12 threads Zen 2 for like around $100 is insane value.
Yeah, yeah.
So really,
But
really
this is
interested to
this
see
is
when these come
great
out.
competition. Like this is like true. Like we're in like full like competition being back territory now, right?
Mm.
Like Intel and AMD are both bringing out good products.
But yeah.
So you'd
Um,
love to be at that stage.
so I think the anti-overclocking thing. I think it's like literally AMD's like if we allow we don't want a bunch of people blowing up their CPUs.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
it's a
that's what
first
it
gen
is.
problem.
I think it's a
Yeah,
first gen problem,
100%.
but we'll have to wait until we see Zen 4 and how it performs.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
But
very
it seems like
curious.
a
I'm
stop.
excited though.
It seems like a stopgap, but it's a really really interesting chip. Because
It's a
I'm
really
really interested
interesting
in these
stopgap
3D.
though.
And also, I don't know if you saw it, Tony. AMD FSR 2.0
Yeah,
was
I did.
announced.
I
So
did
it's
see
next
this.
level temporal upscaling minus the AI. So it's on the
Yeah.
same like DLSS tier, but without
Yes.
the
So it's harder to implement like
artificial
DLSS
intelligence.
2.0,
Yes. So
but still open source. So
so this is going to launch quarter 2022. It's no longer driver level. Like you could have it on the FSR 1.0 where you could implement it into somebody else's game.
yeah,
Every single game is going to have to implement their selves, like they
yeah.
do with like making your own TAAU. Um, so interesting, what's going to happen? I mean, I guess it means you don't have to work on your own like temporal anti-aliasing upscaling or your own like checkerboarding
It,
system.
yeah, yeah. It should be easy to implement because it's like open source, right? Like you can
Yeah,
like find people to help you, like if you're struggling, if you're like a smaller development studio. So yeah, this is good though. This is exciting.
it was cool that they were showing off Deathloop specifically, and they were showing off like in some spots it actually looks better um, than
Yeah,
native
we're getting there.
resolution.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
But again, I think it was Digital Foundry podcast. They were saying like DLSS on Deathloop looks better than native.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it might
That
just
kind of
be
makes
like
sense.
Deathloop. There's an example they chose because there was a big difference between native and
Yeah, that's
upscaling
true.
on. So we'll have
Yeah.
to see. But it's really, I think it's really interesting when this stuff comes out because as well, like they also announced they were launching RSR, which is basically is launching on March 17th, which was FSR 1.0, but on the driver level. So it just works. It works on all games. With the downside, it would also affect the whole image, including the UI elements. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That was the issue,
you could
wasn't
do,
it?
but that would allow you to do stuff like you can do on the Steam Deck, where you can have
Yeah,
a system-wide FSR 1.0. So you won't get like
yeah.
because it. Oh, I don't know if you've used FSR, but
I have not no.
1.0. But FSR 1.0, it ain't it. I don't want to be like
Well, it's like
defamatory,
DLSS
but
1.0. It wasn't it either.
it's pretty. It was pretty awful. Like from what I used, it was like I would say it was like turning on FSR 1.0 on. It was sort of like you would have to have it on like the highest quality setting you can, and even then, it was like putting Vaseline on your screen.
Yeah.
It was super blurry. Like
So
it
it's
was not a good
interesting.
experience.
I find it interesting the different artifacts between FSR 1.0 and DLSS 1.0 because like DLSS had like a weird flickering issue with like smaller elements, whereas then yeah, Vaseline look with
Different
FSR.
rendering technology. I think. And if
Yeah,
you
yeah. No,
don't
I
have,
find it interesting though.
it's hardware agnostic, which is the big
Yeah,
benefit to FSR. But then again, you don't get the AI upscaling, where I just think the AI is doing a lot better in a lot of
I
scenarios.
I think we're
Um,
gonna need. I think AMD is gonna have. I think almost all cards in the future are gonna have some sort of AI core optimization, whatever that means for whatever card that is. But
I have to see.
yeah.
So I'm really interested if AMD will release cards with some sort, because they saw the ray tracing and they went, okay, let's add the ray
Hmm.
accelerators to the big Navi launch, RDNA
Is
2, and
is the Intel's ones gonna have any
no, they're
AI
doing sex back
accelerator?
they're doing sex backwards, aren't
Right,
they? They're doing XCSS.
right. Yeah,
They're
okay.
doing their own temporal upscaling technology.
Yeah, but
That's
is
hardware agnostic.
yeah, but is the actual cards gonna have any sort of AI enhancement to run stuff on at all?
No, but I think they said it will run better on their cars because it's more optimized.
Yeah, yeah, that makes
I don't think
sense.
it's AI powered. Let me look it up.
No, I think you're right. I don't think it's the actual hardware, the software AI
But
powered.
it was going to be like, I think they were open sourcing it or something similar to that. Not like full open source, but they were going to make it available to people to use.
Yeah.
What was I looking up, Tony? Intel X ESS, is it using artificial
Well, I
intelligence?
just want to, yeah, what I want to know is like, are the Alchemist cards have any sort of AI cores?
Uh, I don't know. I can't look this up on the fly. I'm reading a very technical document.
Yeah, these are quite technical stuff.
This article says
Apparently,
both DLSS and XCSS use AI to enhance upscaling. They can offer TAA to smooth the images.
yeah. Apparently, there's something called
Oh,
the
okay.
XE Matrix extension that is
Yeah,
like
I've
built for
talked about this
AI.
before. The main difference is so that's what I was talking about. The XCS can run on dedicated XMX cores or on
Yeah,
general hardware. So
yeah, yeah.
it runs better on the XMX cores on the Intel Arc
I think
um,
those are
stuff.
AI. Well, not
But
AI. That's kind of complicated, but it could be optimized for like more other AI
yeah.
stuff as well. So yeah, it looks like they have got like some sort of AI incorporated into it. So I think AMD does need to incorporate that in the next cards.
But man, like tech's really interesting right now. I'm really interested.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I really want to see Intel's GPUs. I really want to see like these new 3D stacking um, AMD CPUs, and I want to see um, more stuff from. I want to see more Intel. Stay competitive. I want to see more Nvidia cards. Like I'm really excited for the new stuff. So
yeah,
it's gonna be really cool. Eventually, we'll be able to buy it at some point as well. So that will be
yeah.
cool.
That'd be great.
Next up, we have Microsoft news. Microsoft's announced xCloud's gaming for Steam Deck with Edge beta, so you can play, you can stream from xCloud to your Steam Deck now through a Microsoft Edge browser. Hallelujah!
Finally,
Does anyone
I
still
guess
want
that's useful.
video game streaming, other than like local video game streaming, like the Steam in-house one has?
I don't know. Uh,
Like I can understand, like
uh,
because I do it sometimes. The Steam Remote Play. I did that to my phone downstairs, and I used to play Slay the Spire on it, and that was pretty cool. That was like a good experience. But like
but what if you don't?
going out and on like a 4G connection, hell no,
Yeah,
I don't want to stream games like
but what if
that.
you don't have? You don't want to buy a PC though. I don't know. I would say though, like over, like I feel like after a certain amount of time, the payback period. Like I feel like there's gonna be a payback period if you own it on a PC compared to streaming it. So, ooh,
Direct Storage API is now available on PC. This is sort of like half of it though.
yeah, I did see
So
that. This is like kind of half.
So it's half of it in two ways. Number one, this is a so basically what direct storage is doing is instead of going from your SSD to your CPU and then
Yeah,
going to your RAM and then going to your GPU, it's going straight from the SSD to the GPU, which means like massive increase in performance time, well, loading time when
Yeah, there's
loading in
less. Yeah,
assets.
yeah. There's less
Um,
processing time required to do that.
because most games are compressed, and there's a lot of decompression time, and this is allowing it to be decompressed a lot faster. But the thing is, so half of it is it's allowing it to go straight to your graphics card, but we still need people like Nvidia and AMD to look on the
Decompress it.
yeah for the fast decompression on the
Yeah,
GPU will
because
be
it's still relying on
the
CPU to
other half of
decompress.
direct
Yeah,
storage.
yeah.
Um,
And we
and
need
then
games to implement
yeah,
it, and we need. It's a
second
whole
part.
thing.
The tools are out there now for I think it's like a Hello World test. Like it's just like a little
Yeah, it's a really
SDK
tiny.
sort of thing they've put
Yeah,
out.
it's tiny assets.
Um, but they have it in that they have it in that as developers, but no game has technology that can run this yet. So it's going to be a couple of years until we see a game that has direct storage on PC.
Yeah.
Um,
But I am hoping this become the new thing because like I think it was Anthony and Linus Tech Tips was like saying like older like the compression technology itself was like first on console and then came
mm.
to PC. So like I'm hoping this is going to be really great in the future like just for everyone. Like
we
it's
just
gonna be it
gotta
should be really
we're
good.
gonna have to wait for devs to take this and then build a game around this technology, and then we can actually
Yeah.
see like a game with these features. Oh, Microsoft is adding tabs to File Explorer in Windows 11. A highly requested feature is on the way. Add this to the list of things that make me want to use Windows 11. I think having tabs in File Explorer is something I've wanted for years. I'm
Yep.
constantly opening multiple File Explorer
Yeah.
windows, and it's
Well,
annoying going through them all.
that was the joke, right? Like you opened multiple files for Windows, and that's why it was called Windows. You have so many windows open. That's
Add something to the list of reasons I don't want to get Windows 11, Tony.
uh,
Microsoft is says that Windows 11 File Explorer adverts were not intended to be published externally.
why were you okay? Okay, Microsoft. I've got another question for you. Why the fuck were you even testing it? The answer's no.
They discovered an ad in the latest test build of Windows 11, prompting users to check out the Microsoft editor. And they said this is an experimental banner that was not intended to be published externally and was turned off, says Brandon LeBlanc,
Well, I'm
Senior
gonna tell you
Programmer
now.
Manager for Windows.
Don't test it. You
Why were
don't
you
need it.
why are you spending resources developing
Yeah,
ads for the File Explorer if it was never meant to go live?
yeah.
Why were you developing
Abs.
this?
Yeah, exactly. Absolute lie. Yeah, I think there's lies in this. I
I
don't.
do
I
not
don't believe them.
understand. Anyway, there's the Microsoft news. Let's move on to VR quickly. Got one VR news piece, I guess. Meta to introduce increased VR parental supervision, age-based blocking on the Quest. As someone who's been playing VR recently, I gotta say, we need
Didn't
some sort of like protection for children.
didn't this have bullshit system where, like the child also had to have a Facebook account though?
Yeah, so they've said, I think Upload VR reached out for comment from Facebook, and they said yes, a Facebook account will be required for both parents and teens at
Oh
this
god.
time. So
I will say it's as dumb as like the Google parental control stuff, like where you both need a Google account. It's like
mm.
why can't I just like it's just like what? Just make it like a sub account or something. Like it doesn't need to be as weird as that.
Well, because it's like sending such a mixed message as well. They're saying, "Hey, we're getting rid of like the Facebook integration from
Yeah,
the Meta Quest,"
but you
and
need it to do these certain things.
wouldn't it be great if you could have like some sort of account just for the VR system? Like I don't know,
What like a hardware personal account that it doesn't track?
like an Oculus account or something.
Yeah, there's an idea. Like, but you remember, okay, but you remember like a console, like an old console, right? Like a PS3, let's say.
Right.
You could be offline and you could create a new profile. It wasn't linked to anything apart from your own existing like PS3. It
Hmm.
wasn't. Oh, it has to be linked to your Sony account. Like, why can't you just do that and then make one of those a child account that then requires permissions of a parent account?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
So Quest devices at the moment are intended only for people over the age of 13. This is because of two things. Number one, You have to be over 13 to own a Facebook account. And number two, I think below the age of 12, your eyes are still developing. And they
Oh,
found
okay.
through research that playing VR for extended periods of time for children under the age of 12 can actually have an impact to their eye development. So it's,
Really
yeah,
interesting.
we don't have all the research yet.
Yeah, it's just like
But
new research. Okay.
just to say, like, if you're giving a young kid a VR Quest headset, don't let them play it like continuously for hours on end,
Is
sort of
is
thing.
there a suggested amount of time they should, or a maximum amount of time they should be playing it for
Yeah,
to build the age?
I don't want to get misquoted, but I think it's around 2 to 3 hours is
Okay,
my
okay.
general
And then
understanding.
they should then rest their eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
Um,
sense.
but I think there is a lot of children underneath the age of you know I've seen lots of kids playing on Oculus Quests. So because I know people get them for kids get them for Christmas now.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, everyone's
They're cheap enough for Christmas.
yeah, they're cheap enough that kids can get them for Christmas. They're all
Well, isn't that
they're all
that's
playing
like a
Gorilla
thing, right? Like
Tag.
the $300 to $400 price range is like the perfect like console cost, isn't it? For like to like
I
easy to
think
like convince your parents to get
I
something.
think the way it worked before is you could the first change was you could have an unlock pattern on the quest where in order that made it so you can only use it after you put a pattern on the screen so that the
Yeah.
kid wouldn't see it. But the thing is, every time the parent wanted to allow the kid to use it, they would have to put on the headset and then put this
Uh,
pattern in, which
yeah.
was
To
really,
just
really tedious sort of thing.
yeah.
But now I think they're giving you the option to block specific apps, and this is obviously in response to the news about young kids using stuff like Rec Room and VR chat.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be
Um,
doing.
yeah, I'm worried. I'm really worried about children in VR. As someone who's
Hmm.
personally used VR multiplayer
Yeah.
stuff, there's a lot of kids in it now, and they are very susceptible to like being
Yeah.
persuaded. They
It's
are they're in
even more
a
so than normal internet stuff.
I think we need to be really careful with children in
Yeah.
VR. This is like new ground sort of thing. They're in a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
trouble. Um, but yeah, let's move on to business news. Welcoming Haven Studios to the PlayStation Studios family. So this, I don't think these studios made anything publicly yet. They're a newly formed studio for an unannounced game, and it's being headed by Jade Raymond, who's had a variety of production management roles
Oh,
back at Ubisoft.
I know Jade Raymond.
During the how do you know them?
I I recognize the name.
Okay.
I don't know
Well, I
Jade
thought maybe
Raymond.
you would know like a specific game sort of thing.
I might do, but I'd have to like, actually go back and check though. I do recognize the name though.
I wasn't familiar, but apparently they worked on early
I'll have to
Assassin's
check
Creed
it out.
Far Cry days,
Yeah,
and
because I remember Jade Raymond like didn't wasn't
they later
Jade
worked
Raymond
at EA Motive, I believe, as well.
isn't Jade Raymond did, like at E3 for Assassin's Creed 1 or something?
Don't think I was watching E3 at Assassin's Creed 1, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's when I was like super hyped. Just like
right. But yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's who it is. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool. I wasn't familiar, but that's cool to
So
see.
that's why I recognize the name. Yeah, no, basically they sold Assassin's Creed 1 to me, so
Damn. Well, you're going to be getting a
that and the
PlayStation
Gadget Show.
5 now. You're getting a PlayStation 5 now.
Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
But basically, it seems like they were working on this game unannounced, and PlayStation looked at it and said, "Hey, we're gonna bring your whole studio in." They must be excited about this game that they're working on.
Or like me, just love Jade Raymond, I suppose. I now figured out. I apparently that's a hot take, I guess. But
Hmm. Okay, next up we have Microsoft is saying if Activision Blizzard recognizes a union, Microsoft will not stand in the way.
oh, thank God.
So this is an ongoing dispute still. The QA staff at Raven Software were fighting for their union to be recognized. They were getting bad. I mean, it feels bad, man, to be like a QA tester or even a game
Yeah.
dev. Like,
Yeah, I think QA get it the worst,
Yeah.
but I think it's very define what the worst is, and like I can probably like even like more like horror stories out there. So It's just it's just an absolute shit show right now. And maybe it
Yeah.
always has been. I don't know, but
I mean, when Microsoft says stuff like they will not stand in the way of Activision Blizzard recognizing a union, but when their company's bug testing QA team was asked to be recognized as a union, they fired the entire team.
yeah,
Like, that's when I'm
it's
like,
so dumb.
say one thing and do another sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So, man, I don't
Let's
know.
not forget the dumb, stupid decisions that companies make.
Report apparently EA rumor speculation, I believe. EA Sports to finally move forward with a FIFA-less soccer game. We're no longer going to get our yearly FIFA title from EA Sports. It's going to just be called EA Football Game. I don't know.
EA Sports.
What was the PES? What is it? What was the new
PES.
E Football? Is that what it was called? The new one?
Uh, I don't remember. That sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know. I don't
Wasn't
follow
didn't
these
they
things.
rename Pro Evolution Soccer to be E Football or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was the shit. That was like a really bad one though, right?
Konami changed from Pro Evolution Soccer to be called E Football. We'll have to see. Like, I don't know how much just the name recognition from FIFA gets people to buy these games because I don't personally play them.
No,
Um,
I don't know why. I feel to be honest with you, I think people just buy it because like it's the only football game that's has. I'm not gonna say good, but has good enough mechanics to play with friends.
because they have like,
But
because they have like, for the longest time they had like Tiger Woods PGA Tour. They had
yeah,
John Madden NFL.
yeah, that's the American football one,
Yeah,
right?
but seems like they're just gonna try and go. I think like generally from what I understand, EA Sports is pretty good at what they do. It might be formulaic, and they might keep just repeating
Uh,
the
uh,
same
I
recipe.
don't. I don't entirely agree with that. They seem to be making backward strides with every one. It's not just
Right.
that they're like repeating it. Like they keep adding really broken mechanics and then they're removing older mechanics that people like every year. And I
Well,
think it's because
I
there's
don't
no
think I don't think
competition.
they're as bad as eFootball from what I saw. So
No, but before eFootball came out though, like it was like people thought that the other Madden game was going to be like the worst sports game of that year.
wait, wasn't I talking
So
about last week about the Lego football game? What was it called?
it's gonna be. It sounds
Two
lit.
2K secured the Lego license for sports games,
I can't wait.
so that's going to be interesting to see.
I don't hate 2K. We said there's a third thing, but yeah, don't like 2K, but Lego Sports. Here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Next up. Oh, Net. Wait, have I missed this one? Yeah, I've missed one that I meant to click on. Let me pull this up now. Netflix will start testing a fee for customers who share their passwords with people outside their households.
Right?
What do you think of this one?
How are they gonna know?
IP, I guess. They're already
Okay.
doing like VPN stuff, so I
Yeah.
anti VPN stuff. So it's not
I
outside the realm
think
of possibility for them
I
to track
think they
this.
need to be very careful because I think they're gonna piss off people as like because like to me it's not I think the whole like forcing household thing is a bit bullshit. It should just be like if you're paying for a number of accounts, then what's the problem? If people are abusing that, then fair enough. But I don't think but even then you shouldn't be like forcing it to a household. I think that's really fucking dumb.
Yeah,
Because technically, maybe Netflix don't take me out here, but technically we're doing that.
yeah.
So
I was gonna say like I think most of the people I know who use Netflix are either sharing somebody else's from a different household
yeah,
or they're
but we
sharing it
have
with
the
someone else
yeah,
in a different
but
household.
without that, if you take out the clause about the household stuff, like we're doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Like we have the exact number of accounts that we're paying for. We're not
Yeah.
like abusing the system and like pretending to be like we're both using that one account.
Yeah.
But other than the household thing, we're doing it correctly and we're paying
Okay.
for it. Like
What
I think it's dumb to force it to a household.
what I would ask Netflix, I would say, okay, you're going to remove like half usability of the account, and you're going to half the price as well,
Yeah, exactly.
which
Are
they're
you gonna
not
halve
going
the
to
price?
do.
Because I will fucking leave if like I start enforcing this massively. Because like that is super dumb.
Well, the thing is, Netflix is slowly and slowly becoming more and more expensive and more worse over the
Yeah,
years. So
yeah.
they're trying to
And
add
do I
more
need
value through like adding like 2D games.
and
So
do I need to
they
watch
just
Netflix every single day of every single month, or will I just
I'm
like
just
this month
remembering
go? Oh,
this.
I could watch Netflix this month only.
They just bought another game development studio. They just acquired
Oh god.
independent game developer Boss Fight in their latest
Okay,
acquisition. Yeah. It's a Texas-based independent game developer studio.
but okay, sure. I don't know. Are people gonna play games because it's on Netflix though?
I mean, I can see people wanting to play Stranger Things games or, you know,
Yeah, yeah. Tying games, sure.
yeah. They just like the franchise on Netflix.
But I
They'll be
don't know.
willing to play it based on
I
that.
would just expect to see that on a different platform. But I guess they're trying to make their subscription thing better. I don't know. I feel like Netflix is kind of falling off slowly.
Netflix kind of fell off. Okay. Oh, Tony, this one will be interesting. The future. Oh, no, sorry, I skipped one. Amazon Game Studios head Franzini steps down. Um,
Okay,
so the head of Amazon
interesting.
Game Studios stepped down, but this is the guy who had never made a video game before he got his
Yeah,
job as head of the Amazon's game studio. And it was similar to how the Google Stadia team went on stage to present the Stadia on their first ever presentation of Stadia, and they all basically said, "Yeah, we're not really gamers. We're just, we just make tech, and we're going to start a game making streaming service." Like,
that's who you want to like. Someone who doesn't understand what they're doing. That's who you want to be
I mean,
leading that.
I can see this both ways. Where sure, you don't want somebody who doesn't know about video games running it, but
Yeah,
again, I think Nintendo is famous for hiring people who don't have a lot of background in like
I
video game
think.
stuff and just looking for people who
Yeah,
have like good creative ideas solving like
yeah.
puzzles and stuff like
For
that.
for creative, like for that like sort of thing, you're trying to get like new creative ideas. But I think when it comes to like business direction, I think you still need someone to actually understand the space. Otherwise, why have you employed them to be the business person or like the tech business person? Like they need to understand what's going on and make decisions that make sense. I think you need expertise when you're at that level. But yeah, so like I think that's weird as it sounds for Nintendo to do that. I think that actually has that there's sense to be had there.
Okay. Next, the future of Guild Wars 2. So Guild Wars
Here we
2
go.
just released its new expansion. I know you've personally been playing it,
Yeah, yeah.
and
It's actually it's pretty good.
I read the future of Guild Wars 2, and I immediately went,
Oh, you were
"Oh
scared.
no!" I was scared because I was like, "The
Yeah,
future of Guild Wars." I know they were in trouble before. They
yeah,
fired like a bunch of
yeah,
employees.
yeah. 2 years ago now. Yeah,
But they said a number of active players the number of active players from Guild Wars 2 has doubled over the past 3 years. End of Dragons outsold the previous expansion Path of Fire, which I believe was quite successful.
that
That one
sold
I
it very
played
good now.
personally. I quite enjoyed
Yeah,
that. ArenaNet will be re-releasing the Living World Season 1 content, which hasn't been playable for nearly a decade.
yeah. Just a little bit of note on that.
Yep.
It turns out that this new expansion has information related to season one. So the fact that you
Right.
can't go back and understand what the fuck's going on, yeah, pretty important.
Yeah. So it will be releasing over the course of this year, and it will be free for everyone.
Yeah,
They reconfirmed the Steam release. They're aiming for this year to release the Steam version. And they have announced that there will be a fourth expansion to Guild Wars 2.
would it take less than 4 years to make, or less than 5 years to make? Sorry.
And the big things for me when it comes to trying Guild Wars 2 again is like I'm waiting for DirectX 11 update because we're
Yeah,
still on
that would have been
DirectX
true.
9, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah, I
Um,
think you're right.
I'm waiting for the expansion to go on sale because I don't
It
play Guild Wars
is
enough
expensive.
to
Yeah, yeah. It's not
buy
worth the
it.
price to you. Yeah.
And then I just have to be in a mood to play MMOs because I feel like I'm never in a mood to play MMOs anymore. I've been playing open world games recently, and that's been really tiresome for me.
Yeah.
I've been like, man,
It's
I feel
it's
like
the
I
same
don't like
space, right?
open world games.
I
So
mean, I
I don't
like
know.
open world games, but like I feel like the fatigue of open world games is the same fatigue as the MMO. And they're
Yeah.
both open world, I suppose. So that's why.
Yeah, but what do you think about the fact that Guild Wars 2 has been growing over the past 3 years? Because
I'm not surprised, but I will say I think their metrics are slightly off. I think it's correct, and I think
right.
the player base has grown, but that's not necessarily active players. And
What about
the other thing as well is that there's a free to play Guild Wars 2
well,
version.
I was gonna say like this doesn't go into revenue at all.
No.
The only revenue thing that goes into is the most recent expansion sold, outsold Public Fire,
Yes.
which would
Yeah.
be like initial cash right now. They
Yeah.
haven't gone into like how this has impacted like the gem store or anything like that with the
Yeah.
new
So
players coming in.
I would say from a personal experience that I think over the past 3 years there's been like a slowing down of like activity.
Right.
But from what I can see now, like it's high. Like there's a ton of people. Like I see because I went back to like the old maps in part of like they're old now, but the old maps in like part of Fire expansion, and there were new people playing there. Like there were lots of people there as well. Like it was crazy.
Hmm.
It's like there's definitely people like coming back and playing Guild Wars.
This is interesting. And it's oh, CG Project Red put out a blog post announcing a new Witcher game is officially in development. And one of the big things they
Oh
announced was it's being built on Unreal Engine 5. They're
yeah,
moving from the Red Engine,
that's
which they've
interesting,
been
isn't it?
using all the way up to Cyberpunk. So interesting to see. Because they said it's a brand new partnership with Epic Games. They want to
Right.
partner up with Epic and use um, this new technology. They have announced that it will not be a Epic Games Store exclusive, even though they are partnering up with Epic and Unreal
Well, they
Engine
do have
5.
their own stores. That'd be insane.
Imagine the GOG will release the game exclusively on Epic Games Store.
Yeah. That would be absolutely insane. Like as good as like the 12% cut is, like it's not as good as 0% cut.
Yeah. Anything else? This is kind of interesting because Red Engine is like an actual really cool engine.
Yeah, but is it maybe because like it's been a while since they've updated it? Maybe like it's just then like fallen
I
behind
feel like with the
newer
way
stuff.
like the ray tracing and like stuff and the
Yeah,
huge open world of Cyberpunk, they must have put a lot of work into Red Engine
yeah, but maybe that's the
recently.
reason why though. Maybe there's like a lot of shortcomings because of that. They realized.
I don't know. One thing interesting to point out, I've been told this is, like Geralt has the sign of the wolf pendant.
Yeah,
This is the
yeah.
sign of the cat or something like that,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
and I believe that's to do with a rogue band of witchers who don't have like official train. So like Ciri from The Witcher would be
Yeah,
like a House of the Cat member where they're not like a traditional Witcher. So that's just like a teaser of what because they wanted to point out this is a new saga. So this is not carrying on from the Wild Hunt or the first three Witcher games, and it's not going to be called Witcher 4. It's going to be like a new brand new Witcher game. So
yeah.
that'll be interesting
Same
to see.
universe, I suppose, but
Yeah.
different story.
Delays, cancellations of announcements. I have one here. Sons of the Forest has been delayed to October 2022. It was actually supposed to come out as early as May 2022, and just based on the pre-release footage, it seemed like they weren't ready yet. I've been playing a lot of The Forest recently again, second playthrough with some new players. I played it in VR as well.
So it's good that they're being like upfront, like oh, like we were like way too like ambitious. Like I think
Hmm.
that's really nice. Like they're just like being honest, but like yeah, we just need to. We couldn't do this day. I'm afraid we're pushing it back. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, look, I'm excited to play it, but I would rather play it when it's more polished and actually,
Yeah,
finished, sort of thing. Because it's
I mean,
like
I get everyone like everyone when they delay something, it's like oh, it's for polish. But I feel like this is like a little bit more open than even that. So
I was watching the Digital Foundry video today on the new Kirby game, the first ever 3D open Kirby game that came out on
yeah,
Switch, and
that crazy one, right?
John Linneman in the video was saying he was saying something like, "This game is playable. You download it or you get it from the cartridge and you play it from finish to end, and it's a finished game." Like, and I was just thinking, when was the last time you played a game without a day
Um,
one patch that needed constant patching for it to actually be the game that you wanted to
it
play?
it's been a while. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that.
What I think that's just like the Nintendo mentality is we'll
Yeah.
release this game when it's finished, sort of thing.
Which, as antiquated as I guess I guess at this point, like, this is an antiquated idea, but that's a good antiquated idea. That yeah, that's nice to like have a fully playable version on release. That would be nice.
But yeah, Sons of the Forest delayed from May to October. And then main news, we have Future Game Show. We have a bunch of trailers. As the first one up is Lego Brick Tales. So Lego just don't look the same without ray tracing anymore. I gotta be
Is that
honest,
what you're
Tony.
saying?
That's what
You can't.
we've got Clockstone Studios. The thing that makes this, I like Lego stuff. Like Lego games, I guess. I don't really build
Yeah, I
Lego
love
that much.
the stop animation look to this. Looks so cool. It's
But I played Lego Builders Journey recently, and I was blown away by how good it looked.
yeah.
Obviously, I would love for all Lego games to be, have that awesome ray
I
tracing effect on
I
them.
saw this look though, but I still think this holds up. I think this is
But the
still
really
good.
interesting thing about this is it's basically this is doing the building way more in depth than Lego
Yeah,
Builders Journey did, and
this is.
it's
Oh, and it's
it's
got
adding like
physics and
actual
things.
physics to
Oh my
Lego.
god, that's so
Yes,
cool.
which I was like, oh, that's really cool that you can actually. So that was the thing with Lego Builders Journey, is you just put random pieces together, and it was a
It
story
was
experience.
puzzle. Yeah, yeah.
Whereas this is actual, it's like mechanical Lego building. This game,
I guess
sort
you
of.
never played like Lego Worlds or anything, have
No, I
you?
never played Lego Worlds.
Okay.
So the Lego games I've played are Lego Builders Journey, um, Lego Racers, and Lego Island. Those are the big Lego
Okay.
games that I've
Okay. Well,
played.
those are all good ones. So,
Yeah.
I to be honest, most Lego games are actually pretty good. To tell
Hmm.
the truth.
Oh wait, I've played like I completely forgot. I've played like Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, Lego Hobbit, Lego Lord of the Rings, Lego Star Wars.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have actually
You
played
played all
like
the
I,
franchise
I I
ones.
forget that they're Lego games because they're so like
Oh,
formulaic in their own like category of
right,
games.
right.
Um,
I don't know. I kind of like those games though. Like they're kind of yeah, they're always very similar, but I don't know. It's just there's fun to be had with them.
hmm. Next up, we have Turbo Golf Racing. I immediately looked on this and
Okay,
said it's Rocket
golf
League,
game,
Golf Rocket League.
right?
And I found it really funny that the trailer was uploaded, was tagged as a Rocket League video. Because it does look a lot like Rocket League.
Okay.
But yeah, it's Rocket League. It's basically like Rocket League Golf, and it's coming soon to early access. So I'm going to be interested to try this game out because my two favorite genres of game, Rocket League and golf, are coming together. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to kart racing golf.
there it is. Why are there so? I think golf with your friends just popped the fuck off in fucking COVID. So
Yeah.
many people were playing golf with your friends and golf it and like golf games. To a point where we've just hit like the apex of golf games now, where we have like
It's only golf.
Mario Golf, Rocket League Golf, Golf Roguelite, Slay the Spire. What are the other golf games? There was the other one that was coming out soon. It was Curse to Golf. Um, yeah, there's so many coming out.
Yeah.
N-
Too much golf, if you ask me.
yeah. Next up, we have Forever Skies. This
It's
one
interesting.
is a first-person action survival game. I'm getting a lot of Boss
Okay.
Baby vibes from this one. No, um,
Okay.
it looks like Subnautica in the sky, and it's also single player as well.
Right.
So you're in some sort of
Okay.
like ship in the sky, and then you have to go out from your ship into this post-apocalyptic world. I guess like down below, it's like very toxic or dangerous,
It's
something like
Wally
that.
Earth.
Yeah.
Yes, that's okay. Right. Yeah, where's Wally? Is there gonna be a Wally reference?
Okay.
So like you have to like go and get
The
resources, I
problem is you
suppose.
can't really do Wally references because Disney will be on your ass so quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't even have like a cube robot with eyes.
No. Disney will be
Okay.
down on you like a ton of bricks.
Right.
Their legal
This is
team is
like
running that
this
now.
looks more interesting than like
But it does have
the
like the
wordy
whole
premise.
resource gathering, like fabricating stuff like in Subnautica.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to check this one out. It does look really
Airship
fun.
is interesting. Oh, imagine if
Yeah,
there's parkour in this though. Like I
parkour.
feel like I realize that's
I think
difficult,
it's more
but
of like a jetpack, like flying
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Just manage that you just like jump from I don't know. I'm a big parkouring fan in games, so
Next
that's
up,
my
we
bias.
have The Cub, which is on that artsy platformer um, tier of games that I love to play. It's
Right.
like
Oh.
post-apocalyptic platforming in the style of like older like NES title, sort of. It looks really good. It reminds me of that apocalyptic golf game.
Oh yeah, like the
The
yeah,
art
yeah, you're right.
style. What was it called?
Yeah, yeah. I'm getting Boss Baby vibes with this one though.
Yeah. It was like Golf Club Wasteland. Was the one that it like the art style of the
Oh,
background is reminding me a lot.
Enough says needs fishing.
Okay.
I think that's the last one.
Oh, we need more. We need like a big wave of fishing games.
Yeah, where's the
Yeah,
fishing renaissance?
guys, can we add more fishing to games? That's
Can we
what
have
we
more
need.
games about fishing?
Yeah, yeah. This one looks really cool. I like the art style. Dorf Romantic, Tony. 1.0 is coming on April 28th. This was announced.
Oh,
So you
interesting.
said you thought the name Dome Romantic sounded similar to Dorf
Yeah,
Romantic when we were doing
I
the
was
Spotlight
joking.
video. You were joking. I was
Yeah,
watching a devlog from the guy who made Dome Romantic,
yeah.
um, and with the Dome developer, he said that it was a Dorf Romantic reference. He'd been playing it or had heard of it recently, and he was like, oh, "I'm just going to name my game Dome Romantic because it was made during a game jam." And he was
Right,
like,
okay.
I just need a name for this game really quickly.
Yeah, I just want a quick name, yeah.
But the game, but he said that Dome Romantic wasn't actually very romantic in the end, with all the monsters attacking you. So he said that the Dome game's name will probably change at some point.
Okay.
Oh,
It should have
Champ
Dome in
Fishing,
its
yeah.
name though.
So that's Dorf Romantic's a cool little relaxing game. It's in that like what's it called, Town Scraper sort of area.
It has its
It's
home, it does have
more
its own mechanics though.
it's more
Yeah,
strategy, this one.
yeah, yeah.
But it's in that tier of like relaxing building
It
games,
is,
sort of.
yeah. You don't have like a time limit, but like you have like a limited amount of tiles you have to. Yeah,
Oh, and
you have to keep releasing.
apparently, if you haven't picked this one up already, as they're leaving early access, there will be a price change. They will be increasing the price.
I think I already own this game.
Well, I can check now
I
if you
do.
want.
I
Heck
already own the
yeah,
game
you'll love to see that.
because I loved it so much. Okay, again, guys, I played the demo and went, "This is really good." I played the demo again and again, and I was like, "I'm just gonna buy it."
Right.
So demos are
Next
good.
up, we have Gun Jam, a rhythm FPS, another game in the BPM sort of games where you're shooting on the
Yeah,
beat sort of thing. I believe this trailer was shown off like a
this looks
couple
good
years
though.
ago, and finally we're actually seeing like more of it. I didn't see it myself, just from what other people said. Looks interesting. I haven't played BPM, so I have no idea how the hell this works.
Right. I think you just load fire like in time with the beat.
Right, but what happens if
But
you
like, do you do
don't?
like reload and is there reload in this?
I don't know.
Doesn't look like it
I feel like this is one of the games where it's like it looks really interesting, but you have no idea how it actually plays until you play it,
until you play it.
or
Yeah,
you play
yeah,
something similar, like
yeah.
BPM, and then you'll understand how you actually play it. I think it looks really cool. I like interesting
I'm
FPS
like
games, so
I'm liking the interesting weapons. Like that's really
hmm.
like that's like, separate apart from BPM
Yeah.
for me.
We have a new gameplay video from Silt. I believe we talked about this at E3. It is that like really creepy underwater spooky horror game
Oh
sort of thing.
yes, this is great.
Yeah. So it reminded me of like Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet, where you had like that big um, what's it called, black and white styling. What's it
Mm.
cool when you just have like two colors?
Uh, I
Um,
don't know. Like I've got silhouette in my head. But that's not one.
Monochrome,
Yeah.
like just black and white. Like you have like a very distinct visual difference between the black and the white that looks really really cool. That I think.
Well, this is like more like there's shades of grey in this, but like yeah, you've only got like a grey scale. but it's done very well.
Reminds me of Limbo as well. That's another one.
Hmm.
But I think that looks really cool.
Is there fishing in this game though?
I believe there's fish.
Okay.
I can tell you that there's fish in that game.
Right.
Resolution Games showed off Demio's PC edition. They showed some gameplay for it. So if you're someone who saw Demio and you were like, "Oh, that looks really cool," but I don't have VR, there's a non-VR version of it where you can play, the
Wait, what is this trailer?
cooperative. I think you just skipped the gameplay.
Okay.
But it's showing that idea of like people sitting in the basement playing D&D basically. It has that really, really good, cool simulated D&D gameplay.
Yeah, with like easy like scripts to make it easier to
Yeah,
like
with
the
like
tabletop simulator.
with the card system sort of thing.
Yeah.
A great tabletop experience because, like, yeah, I play tabletop simulator sometimes, and it's a tool that allows you to do anything, but it also like
That's the problem.
that's the problem where
Because you can do anything.
because recently I've been playing Uno, the actual Uno, and
Yeah, the Ubisoft Uno.
just gotta say, fuck Ubisoft Connect.
Just fuck Ubisoft in general.
Because I've been having to use Ubisoft Connect to play Uno, Star Trek Bridge Crew, and Assassin's Creed Black Flag I've been playing recently. And it's just an awful experience all around. But we were playing Uno on Tabletop Simulator because some people didn't own it on Steam, and the experience difference between having a dedicated app that has some of these tighter constraints on you that adds into a more like a seamless experience compared to everything being open on Tabletop Simulator. It's a lot better. You don't have someone flipping the table every 2 minutes or loading up a tablet
or stealing your cards,
putting meme music on, or like cheating and stuff like that. Like, it's a more seamless experience, and yeah, I think Demio is an interesting one.
I have a lot of respect for Tabletop Simulator still, but yeah, like I think a seamless experience has its place as well.
Does this interest you more in this game now that it has a PC version, Tony? Since you don't have VR?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I still would
like
VR,
looking at this, I'm more interested in the VR version still.
Yeah, I still want to play the VR version, but I think I would like. I assume that they're two separate games, right?
How many? Okay, so we see like all the time VR game flat screen pancake games get converted to VR games quite often. How many VR games converted to non-VR games have we had?
I don't know. This is probably one of the easier ones to do because it's like not too. Like you're not moving about, like looking at a table.
I can't think of many that have done it the other way around.
No, I can't. I can't think of any.
It's pretty rare to see. Let's see. Next up, we have this finale, Imp of the Sun. It looks like an indie version of like Ori and the Blind Forest, but I hate the art style. That's what I'll say about this one.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. It looks like it could be fun. Like the gameplay, it looks very like just watching the gameplay. It looks exactly like Ori and the Blind Forest. So it could be fun, but I personally don't like the art style.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of it.
But
it's not bad or anything. It's just not for me.
Those were all the trailers from Future Game Show that I thought were interesting enough to talk about. So some interesting stuff that's coming out. Definitely going to be checking out Turbo Golf Racing, Rocket League with Golf. That's right up my alley. Let's read the Petermology tweet. Unless I read it last week and I forgot. I need to check, what was the...
No. I don't know.
What was the tweet I read last week? I'm just going to read this one again, and if you haven't heard it, you haven't heard it. I'm about to redefine a new genre of game that has yet to be defined. Classic Peter.
That's kind of ominous. Like it's kind of like a threat.
There it is. You can check us out.
Petermology Baked Beans.
And everything in between podcasts. Oh, you love. Oh, Scorn Scheme finally got approved. My new emote. It got unapproved for a really long time.
Yeah.
But finally actually got approved because it had a picture of somebody else's face in, and someone at Twitch had to go, yeah, you can have that emote.
Yeah, that's fine.
It was funny. I was talking to my friend Wade recently. He watched like a documentary about Peter Molyneux or something recently, and he was saying like, "Oh, I just found out that Peter Molyneux actually started out in a baked bean factory. I thought you were
Yeah.
joking." And I'm like, "No, legitimately,
No.
the reason we have baked bean facts with Peter is." At least from his story, he used to work at a baked bean factory, and he got a call from who was it?
Atari?
Atari or someone like a tech company at the time. They gave him a
Yeah.
bunch of computers because they mistaked him for another
Or
company.
like Commodore, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
It was someone.
But anyway, check us out and everything in between podcasts on YouTube, twitch.tv/Scorn if you want to watch live, and at Scorn2000 on Twitter if you want to follow me there for some reason. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.